Hello and welcome to the horror house. I bet you have never seen such a dirty and filthy house. This is the dirtiest house I have ever been in. And yes, I'm going to clean it for free. And I can promise that in addition to cleaning, you will want to hear the story of this house because it is shocking. One of the sickest things is that these residents haven't seen their kitchen for over 3 years because the room in front of the kitchen is so full of stuff. I can't even see what the kitchen looks like, but I'm going to make my way there with you. Next, let me show you the living room, and I think this is also the bedroom as well. Could you sleep here? I don't know. Make your morning coffee here? I don't know. It feels impossible that someone lives here among trashes, filth and rats. But it's true. Here's the bed. Sofa, and this is the current kitchen. I'm super excited, but I can't help to wonder what the hell has happened here. Let's find out. Make yourself some popcorn and enjoy. Coming up in this video. Me and my wonderful followers started collecting trashes from the hall. As you can see, we have already made some progress. Even though on average I clean 1 home in a week, sometimes 2. It took a long time to come across this landfill of a home. This apartment straight up took the first place as the dirtiest home ever. I found this apartment in July 2020. I got an email about this big decayed house. The pictures of the house looked a little scary. I couldn't really tell much from them except the fact that I was going to need help. People and a skip for the trash. This house is located in a small town, so it wasn't easy to find help. Luckily, my cousin Veeti joined me and a few of my lovely followers as well. Veeti and I started the long drive early in the morning, and once we arrived at the house, the yard looked like it hadn't been taken care of in years. The grass was uncut, there was trashes, boxes and stuff everywhere. Soon we noticed that the yard was nothing compared to what was waiting for us on the inside. This is the worst, meaning the best place I have ever been in, I realized when I walked across the yard. Waiting for us was the resident Sophie. She asked us if we wanted coffee. We politely said no thank you. I told her that we hadn't yet found a hotel, since it was a small town. She said that there was a few mattresses in the garage that we could sleep on. She was trying to be super nice. For me, it would have seemed impossible to sleep in this house, but Sophie did so every night and had lived here for the past 6 years. Sophie was wearing a little worn out clothes, a red jacket and black pants. She had a short hair and was missing half of her teeth. Yep. I asked her if she was using drugs. Usually people tell me beforehand if there is any needles in the apartment, so I know to protect myself better. Sophie told me that she doesn't use drugs. Okay, weird. I wondered what has happened here then. Sophie didn't have a place to stay, so she went into the garage that, by the way, was full of stuff as well. It was literally filled to the ceiling with stuff. Sophie had to move some stuff around to be able to make herself room. It was impossible to even close the garage door from the outside since there was so much stuff. But Sophie happily stayed in the garage the whole day. She didn't have friends and nowhere else to go. When we took a closer look at the home, you can do it yourself also, I noticed that amongst the trashes there was a lot of stuff as well. It was almost impossible to notice what is trash and what is not. There was also a lot of furniture, but the rats had eaten a lot of them. I realized that we need a skip. I called many companies and they all told me that they couldn't deliver a skip in 2 weeks. Oh, I was desperate. At the end of each phone call, I asked if they knew another company that I could ask from. Finally, I found one. They were able to deliver it on the same day. I knew it would be expensive, but we couldn't make it without it. Later I will tell you how much trash there was and how much the whole thing cost. Here, by the way, you can also see a bit of the yard. It was like a little jungle. I was so happy and relieved when we got the skip in the yard. But before I continue the story, let's clean this table. Or, I mean, the current kitchen. Sophie cooked noodles in this table and made a lot of coffee. Now we have just cleared the hallway and part of this living room, so I don't know yet if Sophie can still make her coffee in the real kitchen. I was really surprised that this table was still in good condition. The rats hadn't eaten it. Wonderful! Here I'm using Cindy's kitchen spray and Scrub Mummy, of course. There were a few spots, so I think I need to scrape them off. Yep. Look how dirty Scrub Mummy is. I bet she's enjoying her life right now. Okay, woohoo! The table is clean. Awesome! Yeah, so this is Veti and he is trying to find some treasures. Ooh. I'm sure you saw us using the snow shovel, but it was a really useful tool on this trip. From the pictures, I gathered that I would need a shovel. I asked my fiancé Sami if I could take our shovel with me, and he said yes, of course, but to never bring the shovel back home. I promised. It was also really rough to shovel the trashes, and that's why the shoveling shift had to be changed often. After this, I want to show you one of the funniest cleaning moments in my life. One of the best cleaning moments of my life is when we lifted these sofas up and there was so much trashes revealed. Oh, I just loved every minute of it. The shoveling was the best thing ever. At some point, I asked Sophie if it was okay to throw the most of the stuff away also. She had no problem, but she told me that her girlfriend might disagree. Wait, what? A girlfriend? At this point, I was stunned because I thought that only Sophie lived here. It was hard enough to imagine that one person lives here, but even two? What the hell? Where have they been able to live here? If they really were living here, where did they both sleep? Yep, one sofa, no beds, or even a place that would remotely be a place to sleep. I found out they also had another apartment where the girlfriend was staying right now, and Sophie was about to move there too. And that's not all. Sophie said that they had also had 2 dogs, but their landlord had called animal protection and the dogs had been taken away from them. But back to the trashes. The trashes need to be shoveled away, and rats had eaten most of the usable furniture, computer cords, and clothes. However, I wasn't allowed to throw most of the broken dirty stuff away. We had to carry them out in cardboard boxes, in the pouring rain. I felt like I was on candid camera or something. Betty couldn't understand why we need to save all the broken things. They smelled bad and had bugs and rat feces all over them. But as they say, another man's trash is another man's treasure, I guess. I have noticed this many times. Many people want to hold on to broken, dirty belongings since they are too afraid to let them go. To be honest, I don't care whether we save the stuff or throw it away. It's the resident's choice. But the fact was that the girlfriend was a hoarder. The symbol of her hoarding was this room. This workroom was so full of stuff that they haven't been able to use the kitchen behind me in 3 years. You can already see that the kitchen is also full of trashes. But as you remember, this room was so full of trash you simply couldn't walk in here. The sight was unbelievable. Another mind-numbing example was a hallway next to the toilet, which was full of stuff as well. There was also a tall cabinet standing against the wall. Throughout the day, we started to wonder where the shower was. Sophie told us that it was behind that cabinet. Can you believe it? Sophie told us that she hadn't been able to shower here for 3 years. That was the most shocking thing about this. I still don't know what to think. I don't know. Where did they shower because they didn't have that many friends? Or then they just didn't shower at all, I guess. That long cabinet in front of the shower was the cabinet of the girlfriend's father who had passed away. When the girlfriend's father died, they emptied the father's apartment into this apartment, and almost nothing was allowed to be thrown away. Then they decided that they would rather keep the cabinet than take a shower. I think that's not normal, and these people, the resident Sophie and her girlfriend, are suffering some kind of mental health problems, as they told me, but yeah, it's not normal. The hoarding aside, I felt satisfied the whole time when we slowly got the apartment emptied and emptier. Vedi actually also enjoyed the cleaning. It was so different for him. And yes, we could already see the floor. Of course, the whole floor was really damaged, but still, we could walk there and see it. That felt amazing. And it was also really satisfying to wash all these surfaces. Washing also helped a lot with the smell of the house. The smell was awful. I mean awful. I think mostly because of the rats and their poop. By the way, here's a picture of the scrub daddies and how they looked after working. Next, let's clean this toilet. A lovely follower of mine is emptying this toilet and then I'm going to wash it. Soon we will find out what is at the bottom of that sink. This toilet floor had everything. Smushed and rotten clothes, papers, all kinds of cleaning products, newspapers, cardboards. Whoa, what is that? I don't know, but Sophie and her girlfriend used this toilet. I don't understand where they even washed their hands. Weird. Yay! Time to wash this toilet. Here I'm using oven cleaner. I decided to use oven cleaner because this toilet was so delicious. By the way, this is our second cleaning day and I'm still super excited. We were managed to find the hotel quite close, so it was wonderful to sleep in a clean sheets after a hard day of cleaning. But on this second day, something weird also happened that I could not expect at all. This woman came into the house, a woman that I did not recognize. She was shocked and kept repeating this one phrase. Oh my God, what has happened here? Oh my God, what has happened here? You could see the terror in her eyes. I told her what we were doing here, but she was too stunned to speak. I realized that she was the landlord, Elizabeth. I showed her that the rats had eaten the dishwasher pipes as well as the kitchen cupboards. I think that might have been too much for her. She stormed outside and yelled at Sophie. How could you have done this to me? How could you have been wrecked the home I built with my own hands? Again, I didn't know what to say or think, but somehow it hurt a lot. But the cleaning continued. Elizabeth came back inside and I tried to get some information from her. Unfortunately, Elizabeth was too shocked to speak and she went home. I thought I would never see her again. Me, my cousin Vedi and my followers were all a bit confused and Sophie was angry. She said that the house had already been in a bad condition when she had rented it. That the walls and floors had already been ruined and that they had not done anything as tenants. They had always paid their rent on time. And it was true. For years they had always paid the full rent on time. This sink looks beautiful, doesn't it? Okay, I think this is some kind of fly paper. I don't know. Here I'm using Cindy's kitchen cleaner and a scrub daddy, of course. Let's wipe it and yeah, it's so clear. This toilet is almost done. Not completely, but almost. We have still a few spots left. Hi! Yay! First of all, this toilet needs hand towels. Yes, I bought these new hand towels. I love this pink color. It is so pretty. And let's not forget this floor. Here I'm using again Sini's kitchen cleaner. I just pour there a lot of it and yay, I'm so happy when I get to scrub it. Oh, I love that brown foam. Here I'm using a dish brush for the grout. This toilet didn't have a floor drain, so this is how I'm wiping it. Okay, if I hadn't filmed this, I would have wiped the floor with a squeegee and a big towel, but I couldn't fit there because of the camera. Then the third day came. At noon, the landlord Elizabeth appeared at the house again, now with her daughter. She told me that she has built the house with her husband and they lived here for 30 years. 30 years. The husband has already passed away. Since then, Elizabeth has lived somewhere else and has been renting out this home. She couldn't believe what had happened. The house she and her husband built was wrecked. Completely. They thanked me and wanted to help. When I convinced them we didn't need any help inside, they still stuck around and started to clear out the yard. After talking for a while, I realized what had really happened. Elizabeth had a daughter, Maya, and Maya had gotten a phone call from a friend. The friend told her that there is this girl who cleans apartments for free and is now looking for cleaning help in this small town. The friend asked Maya if it could be Elizabeth's apartment. After the phone call, Maya and Elizabeth checked out my Instagram. And at first, the pictures didn't look familiar. But then Elizabeth saw this familiar looking kitchen tile. She realized it was the home she built over 30 years ago. Elizabeth knew when I was going to clean and decided to confront us. She had to wait more than 3 weeks for me to arrive. By the way, I have never seen such a beautiful layer of dust. Wow. After signing the agreement with the tenants, Elizabeth hasn't been able to check the state of the house, even though she had tried many times. Why? Why she couldn't have? And I'll show you the before and after pictures really soon. And I almost forgot. The skip cost over 800 euros. So it was pretty pricey, but worth it. Unfortunately, the story will be left unfinished here. But don't worry, part 2 is coming out next week! In that, you will hear why everything came as a shock to Elizabeth, and above all, how she's doing now, 3 months later, and what happened to Sophia and her girlfriend. In part 2, you will see the most amazing kitchen cleaning transformation ever. For me, it is the best cleaning video that I have ever seen. So, we have 1 day left to clean. But look at what we did! Now the toilet is clean, it's so shiny! And the living room is clean. I'm so happy and satisfied. Hope you are too. Now we are going back to the hotel and we'll finish cleaning next week. See you. Bye bye.